I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans.
Hey, welcome back, Shenaniganders. I was away for a week there with Jamie. We went to Banff and Jasper, so hasn't been many pinball shenanigans going on lately. But I am back now, and going to be mucking around in the basement. Prior to leaving for vacation, had a couple of the boys over, and we managed to break a couple things, so my goal is to fix them. So let's go around and I'll show you. Oh, chilling with my feet up. That's the shenanigander way. First thing that we broke was Dracula. We got a credit dot notification saying that the magnet limit switch on the right was not registering. That's happened to me before. When I first got this machine, both those limit switches were broken off. So when the magnet goes over there, there's a switch. The magnet goes over there, there's a switch. And the magnet just kind of clunkily presses into these leaf switches, and that is by design. But so I replaced them both. Probably not the exact armatures that they're supposed to have, but the right switch armature just needed to be bent a little bit. So that's sorted out, and played a couple test games. That is all happy again. So Dutch turned on Funhouse to play it, and a credit dot popped up, another error message, and said I think it was Rudy's mouth opto wasn't registering. So we actually spent a little bit of time trying to sort it out. I got the play field up here. Let's see if I can pop it down one-handed without doing any damage. Okay, Rudy. So the opto right here was not registering. We looked at that first because that's what the indication was. Let's turn it on and see if see what it says just for fun. Press enter for test report. Dummy jaw opto. Rudy's like, who you calling dummy? Oh, what number was that? Switch number 51. Okay, so let's go. We went to the switch matrix. Here it is. I think it said 51. Dummy jaw opto. So upon closer examination, we found that all of these switches in this row are not working. So right flipper, slam, tilt, the P and step, left slingshot kicker, and what is that? Right flipper return lane. Yeah, so pop into switch test here, and nothing registering there. And I'll just hit some other switch so you can see that we are in fact in switch test. But these are two of the switches. They do nothing. Left slingshot, nothing. So that entire row is out. And I'm gonna try and figure out why. This was, I think, Saturday night. Ray and I were kind of looking under the play field, under the hood there, and looked at all the, oh, here's the P. That's, you would think that that would have been, oh, that was, I don't know what I hit there, but, oh, I think it was this Super Dog switch. Anyway, this switch here is really close to the flippers, so I was highly suspect that a wire would be off on that switch or something, because it gets beat up pretty good. But we checked every switch on that row, all the wires, all the diodes, all the connections, and so far have not been able to find anything. So instead of fixing pinball with the boys over, we decided to go play pinball instead. So now I'm back at it, and I'm going to determine next whether the issue is on the play field or on the board, the CPU. So there is a test that one can do for that, and I am going to probably just go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how to do it. There's lots of videos on that, I'm sure, out there, but not a shenanigander video just yet. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just loading up PinWiki here. We're going to take a quick peek at that. One thing I forgot is that the right flipper switch is on this row here. Now this is an orange-brown wire row. We got to remember that. But the right flipper switch does actually work. So it's not the entire row. That does lead me to think that it is more of a wiring issue or diode issue than it is a CPU issue. Slam tilt does not work. Pretty sure there's only the one slam tilt switch. Oh wait, oh I lied. Slam tilt does work. Okay. I forgot about that. I do recall, I thought I just tested that, but I didn't press it in hard enough. So right flipper and slam tilt, and then for sure, the P is not working. My P don't work. Lower right P. Yeah, so this guy definitely does not work. So you would think that, hey, like the wire goes from here to here to here to here to here to here to here, and that there might be a break in the wire between the slam tilt and the steps switch, but from what I understand, the wiring does not go according to the switch matrix. So this does not necessarily follow this switch in terms of the wiring pattern from one switch to another. Although one would think that could be a break between those two. So it's not no harm in checking that, but I do believe that just because these two switches are beside each other in the switch matrix doesn't mean they're wired next to each other in sequence. So let's take a look at PinWiki. Okay, I'm on PinWiki here, and we're in WPC. Actually, I'll show you where we're at. I'll go back even one more. 1990 to 1999 WPC, which I was looking for WPC 89, and then there's WPC, WPC 95, WPC-S, but it's not quite broken down like that. So we go to 1990, because Funhouse is 1990. And then we scroll down to switch problems, and I believe I have a switch matrix problem, so we click on that. And then, short of reading this entire bit of information here, so there's a pretty cool graphic on the page here that tells you exactly what to do. You remove these connectors on the CPU, and then you take a jumper wire and you move the jumper wire across each of the pins, starting on this pin number 1 here. I'll move it down a bit, and then you move this over a pin and you repeat. And the trick is that you should only see one switch registering for each time you do that. If you see multiple switch closures or no closure, if you see nothing happening, then we're probably going to assume that there's something wrong with the CPU. But also on the CPU, J206 and 207 connectors are electronically the same, as well as J208 and 209, which are two of the connectors we're going to be removing. So for fun, I could actually remove the connector from 207 and plug it in 206, and I could plug 209 into 208 just to see if anything different happens. So probably nothing, because the connectors are so close to each other. But if there is any acid damage on the CPU, these connectors get hit first. Maybe not first, but they are in the path of destruction. So often switch matrix issues like this are due to alkaline damage from the original batteries, or any batteries that have been left on the CPU for 30 years. Hopefully not that long though. So let's take a look at my CPU, mess with these connectors, see what I've got going on there for batteries. I think I have a off-board battery remote thingamajiggy. But you know, if there was alkaline damage on the CPU and I didn't remedy it properly, it can still rear its ugly head over time. So it's possible that that is a suspect. So let's move over to the CPU. Okay, just removed the back glass, and I like what I'm seeing so far. It looks like I probably sent this board in to my board guy, Brent Butler, Tommy Pinball, and looks like I got upgraded ROM and NVRAM as well. So let's take a look at the original battery area though. It looks pretty good. I don't see really... Ooh, heat sinks are hot. I don't think I see any evidence here of alkaline damage, so that's good. That's a nice clean looking CPU. Just almost looks like a little bit on this chip, maybe? Maybe not, but it's definitely... Hey, wait, see that little stain there? I think that's some old damage, so maybe there's a little bit. Okay, so let's, for fun, like I mentioned, what is... Here the, hear that? Wiggling this wire is making stuff happen. So that might be an indication right there. Let's see what switch that was. 51! What do you know? That is a dummy opto. Look at this. Just moving the speaker panel is just enough to bend these wires to make the switch register. So why are you doing that? Let's switch these two connectors. It could be the wire, like in the IDC connector. Just needs to be punched in better. Or better yet, change to Molex style. Let's look at the pins on the male headers there. They appear to be good. So let's plug this in down here. And doesn't appear to be mucking around anymore. So I have a feeling this might work. Let me bring up the speaker panel one moment. Okay, here's the big test. Stick my finger in Rudy's face. Look at that. And we're going to assume that the other switches work. Here's going to be a out lane switch. Yeah, in lane. Left sling. The P. Alright, well, we're back in business, so the best thing to probably do in this case is, well, what I'm going to do is just keep an eye on it. If it happens again, then I will probably repin those two connectors and install Molex connectors with some new terminals Those are 0.100 terminals, so they do not come in Trifuricon. Okay, so, but that is, if that happens again, then I will do that. I was thinking this, I was going to end up showing you that whole test, and now I've left you hanging. So, you know what, maybe just for fun, I will perform that test, because it takes only a moment. Give me one moment, I'll get set up. Okay, this is awkward and very precarious, but this will just give you a little bit of an idea for fun. Like I said, there's probably a lot of great videos on this, and this is just a little sample. But I take an alligator clip, clip it onto pin 1 of the row connector, and then I've got like a little finishing nail, hello, on the other end of the alligator clip. And then if you can do this right, try not to hit too many other switches, touch this to pin 1 of the column connector, and we got right flipper. Then I'll move it over one space, or one header there. There's our slam tilt. There's our P. Our P works again. Yay. Ooh, that's the left slingshot. And dummy octo. And then outer flip lane. And what's this last one? That is ground. So yeah, if you move this to pin number 2, you repeat. Move it to pin number 3, you repeat. Basically you do that 64 times for all switches in the switch matrix, and if they all behave as they should and display correctly, then you know that the issue is not on the CPU, because we're triggering the switches directly on the CPU. Anyway, my issue, fortunately, was just kind of like just needing to reseat the connector, so that's a nice and easy fix. So Funhouse is now fixed, Dracula's fixed, and I think my work here is basically done. So just a quick little fun video of repairing the damage from Saturday night's action. So thanks for watching, see you on the next one.